Hello everybody, it's that time of the month again. No, not that time. It's time to share the hottest chill and cozy games releases, updates, and news. And I've got a whopper of an episode for you today with Palia's biggest update yet and launch on 2 consoles. Dinkum's 1.0 update and full release is happening today. 2 new Sims-like games launch on May 1st, and I've spent way too much money on Kickstarter games this month. There's a total of 16 games in this episode of Chill and Cozy Gaming News, and you're not going to want to miss out on these juicy deets. I'm probably too old to say that, aren't I? Crap. We'll begin with 6 new releases and demos you can try or buy now, starting with a brand new demo that reminds me of Dave the Diver and Chef RPG. Space Chef is a quirky restaurant sim mixed with RPG and survival elements where you explore planets to hunt and source ingredients to bring back to your space trailer restaurant, which can be customized, upgraded, and closed whenever you're ready for adventure beyond serving up strange dishes to your customers. Space Chef has over 140 dishes to cook, 5 planets to explore, 180 creatures and plants to hunt and harvest, and tons of decorative items, as well as the freedom to design your own menu and restaurant business model. Plus, the icing on this alien cake is the cartoony comic-style graphics. Space Chef looks to release later this year, but the new demo is currently available on Steam. These next 5 games are brand new releases, including Tiny Garden, a Polly Pocket-inspired miniature farming and decorating game. It's cute and colorful with a bit of puzzle solving when trying to place the plants, and then turn the crank to watch them grow. For $13 US, you can expect about 8 hours of relaxing gameplay. Locomoto is another new cozy release featuring a life sim where you're the conductor on a steam engine, traveling the countryside and listening to chill lo-fi music as you serve your passengers and maintain your train. You'll stop at cities to pick up quests and can earn tokens to craft items to customize your train. It's a very chill experience where you should be able to get at least a couple dozen hours of extremely relaxing gameplay for your $25 purchase, and the free demo is still currently available too. Moving from trains to planes, we have Aviassembly, an airplane crafting and delivery game I've had on my radar and just soared into early access on April 11th. I love the idea of running an airplane delivery business, and it's more arcade-style flight sim, so the flying is way easier to grasp than in Flight Simulator. Aviassembly will cost you less than $10 and provide around 8 hours of cozy gameplay, and it has an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam. Another super relaxing new release is Tranquil Isle, a town builder with randomly generated islands, cozy lo-fi vibes, and only costs $5 on Steam. You can play it puzzle style on classic mode with strategic building placement to rack up a high score and new building unlocks, or opt for sandbox mode if you just want to build to your heart's desire. The already relaxing aesthetics are enhanced by different biomes and day-night cycles, as well as a beautiful soundtrack. And then there's Tempopo, a musical puzzle game which released onto Steam, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox last week. It's also on Game Pass, which is where I played the first few levels. The goal of the game is to provide directions to the little pink Tempopo creatures so they can rescue the musical flowers in each level. The graphics are stunningly whimsical, and there's even a setting for easier puzzles, which I admit to using because there's no tutorial and, well, I'm impatient as heck. But this is a fantastically adorable game that will probably be worth $20 if you enjoy puzzle games. Next up is news and updates for 7 hot and mostly cozy games, including a whopping 6 survival games. The first is Outbound, the cozy open-world survival adventure game where you live in your camper van and build a lavish tiny home on top and travel throughout a vibrant wilderness, collecting resources and items as well as solving a few puzzles. Outbound still isn't set to release for about a year, but the alpha gameplay just opened up on April 14th for Kickstarter backers. I spent over a dozen hours playing it and shared the highlights of my Outbound Alpha experience in this video, but the TLDR is that Outbound is a fantastically beautiful and cozy exploration adventure with very light survival, and there's multiplayer too. So if you've had Outbound on your wishlist, go check out the first alpha gameplay for a closer look at the game. It's been a hot minute since I played Palia, but they just keep pushing out impressive updates, and the one coming on May 13th just might be the biggest yet. Not only is Palia launching on Xbox and PlayStation 5 and will be cross-play with cross-progression, but this is also the release of their massive Elderwood expansion. This Palia update adds an entire new adventure zone to explore, featuring a magical Alice in Wonderland style forest biome that encourages players to explore vertically. Some new aggressive creatures will be introduced for players who enjoy hunting, story quests will be added, and you can find hidden relics that will grant buffs to you and your team. And of course, there will be a new selection of friendly fish, insects, and plushies to find. This update seems to introduce a slightly spicier gameplay style that I think could do wonders to attract new players, but hopefully it doesn't detract from the cozy vibes that the majority of the player base seeks. Let me know in the comments what you think about this mega Palia update and console release. Nearly 3 years have passed since this adorably cute and surprisingly feisty Australian survival life sim game released onto Steam. And it's been slowly building up steam and praise from players, many touting it as the closest game to Animal Crossing for PC, which I have to agree. But the point of my rambling is that Dinkum is now ready to celebrate its official full release with the 1.0 update that's launching today. In addition to items like this terrarium, where you turn your bug friends into cocoons for silk, you'll have enhanced controls for what guests can do on your island, a dedicated creative mode for building and designing, guest houses that you can rent out to visiting NPCs, and 4 of these are new characters, and there is also a new 2-seater airplane. For about $20, Dinkum is such a wonderful life sim that blends cozy homesteading and exploring with engaging combat, and I'm so happy to see its full release reach fruition. I know there are a lot of mixed feelings with the early access phase being complete, as well as Krafton taking over the publishing from solo developer James Bendon, but it was made clear that this is not the end of Dinkum updates. And honestly, even if they add nothing more to the game, I'd be fine with that. Dinkum offers so much in terms of engaging activities and thrilling wildlife interactions, as well as creative design and decorating. It really is perfect as is, and Dinkum should 100% be added to your wishlist if you enjoy life sim games. Another survival game that's exiting early access on Steam is Forever Skies, where you pilot an airship above a post-apocalyptic Earth, scavenging resources and unraveling the mystery of what happened to our planet. I'm such a dork because I bought Forever Skies during last summer's Steam sale and have yet to play it. But the 1.0 release brings some enticing features like the final chapter to the game's underlying story, new biomes and points of interest to explore, new creatures and crafting recipes, as well as game optimization and better inventory management. If you're a fan of Subnautica and want to try airship survival, then Forever Skies might be worth a try, but keep in mind it does have a fair amount of combat. And what just might be the most cozy of all these survival games is Planet Crafter. The Planet Humble DLC released last fall, and the team just announced that due to the support this received, they plan to continue updating the base game, beginning with the Moons update, which is coming soon. Players will be able to travel to 2 new moon locations after terraforming is finished on the main planet, and will retain all blueprint knowledge and equipment to begin exploring, harvesting resources, and terraforming the new locations. Some of you know that my family and I have been enjoying Planet Crafter for our weekly game night, and I can't say enough good things about this chill survival game. There are no enemies, and it's rewarding to watch the barren atmosphere blossom into an oasis as you progress. So I'm excited for more free content to continue our Planet Crafter adventure. And lastly, 2 upcoming chill survival games recently launched Kickstarter campaigns. Astrobotanica is a very relaxing survival adventure game a bit reminiscent of Avatar, where you're a botanist who has crash-landed on an alien planet and must study the plants and natives in order to survive. There's farming, crafting, and even animal taming too. I backed Astrobotanica and hope to play the alpha this summer, and a public demo is tentatively planned for the fall, which seems quite expeditious. The other survival game with a new Kickstarter is Autonomica, formerly known as Farm Folks, and perhaps better known as the Fortnite-looking game that has a little bit of everything. It's less cozy than Astrobotanica with the addition of optional PvP and ghost hunting, but it looks to have rich building, farming, and animal husbandry systems along with a hint of automation and plenty of exploration. I'm not even sure Autonomica knows what genre it belongs to. Autonomica was fully funded in a day, and I backed this one too, but its alpha access doesn't begin until this fall, with full release not until October 2026. That's a horrendous wait, but it also confirms that the team is not rushing this gargantuan project, which I think we all can appreciate, especially given the scope of the game. Both of these Kickstarter campaigns are still active through May 8th and May 17th respectively, so there's still time to back them if you want alpha access. Before we go, I want to call attention to 3 games releasing early May. Little Sim World is a 2D life sim that's a little bit Stardew Valley mixed with The Sims, where you explore the city of Little London, manage your 8 basic needs, engage in activities that improve your skills, which will unlock perks and cosmetics. You can decorate your house and meet and help your neighbors. Although Little Sim World doesn't have the modern 3D art style of Inzoi, it'll be way easier to run on your computer and has no loading screens throughout the world. Little Sim World releases into early access on Steam on May 1st for between $20 to $25 with an eventual port to mobile. But if you'd prefer a life sim with more grit and realism, you might like Pixelia, another game I backed on Kickstarter. I'm such a sucker for Kickstarter games. Pixelia releases on May 1st on Steam with plans to port to Nintendo Switch in the very near future. Your character has needs to manage like in The Sims, along with a house to decorate, and I use the term house loosely because you'll start with a dump of an apartment, and then you'll have nearly a dozen jobs to choose from so you don't become homeless. When I played the alpha, I chose the path of theft and gang violence as a streetwalker, but you can opt to become an upstanding citizen if that's your jam. There's also cooking, driving and riding vehicles, and even forming love connections with fellow Pixelians. And then we have RPG farming and life sim, Pixelshire, which is releasing on Steam on May 8th, and both Nintendo Switch and PlayStation later this year. At first, the visuals didn't impress me, but it does have a few standout features like befriending villagers and bringing them along with you to gather resources and explore, terraforming to add hills and rivers, and designing and customizing the entire Pixelshire village. And of course, all the other staple farming sim mechanics are included, and it looks like the game will be priced around $25. And that's gonna do it for this episode of Chill and Cozy Gaming News. With 9 new sim games you can play now or very soon, 7 juicy updates including Palia's huge Elderwood update and console launch, and Dinkum's exciting release, as well as news about some awesome cozy survival games like Planet Crafter adding more planets to terraform, and 2 very successful Kickstarters, including one where I may have purchased a cute pink unicow. I definitely did buy it. It was just so cute. So which of these 15 games are you most interested in playing for the first time or getting back into after the updates? Let me know in the comments, and if you don't want to miss out on the latest in Chill and Cozy games, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.